I picked up this Arteck Bluetooth keyboard for my iPad mini. What I liked about it is that it had a keyboard, and it also seemed to be sturdy enough to protect the iPad itself. I got a chuckle when I saw the certified frustration-free packaging stamp on the outside of the box. We really needed to have this certified that it's frustration-free. Well, I feel a lot better now. Frustration aside, it comes with the normal paperwork and a charging cable. One of the first things I noticed when I took this case out of the box is that it's pretty heavy. I mean, not heavy that I can't lift it, but this is supposed to go on an iPad mini, and the mini is used because it's lightweight and portable. This thing got some weight to it. It's made out of a hard plastic, so I know it'll protect the iPad pretty well. It's probably more than what I need. I'm not hard on devices. It has all the necessary cutouts. As you can see, this is the one for the camera and the volume and speakers and what was it? Oh, on and off. Speakers and charging. And it even has a little indentation for the Apple Pencil. It's functional, but not pretty. It only comes in gray, and I'm okay with not pretty. I wanted something functional. I don't care what it looks like. It has two modes. Before I get into the modes, this is pretty stiff. It's the other thing I noticed. It's kind of, it needs some oiling. It won't, I'm just kidding, you can't oil it, but it's, I guess you want it secure enough where your iPad doesn't accidentally flip open, but I don't want to have to be arm wrestler to open it either. So there are two modes basically. You can use it in laptop mode, which was the reason, one of the reasons why I bought this. And then you can take it apart, ooh, and use it in tablet mode. The magnets are pretty strong, as you can see when I went to pull it apart. It's pretty strong, which is good because you don't want it to just separate on its own. So now that we know that we've got the two modes, I'm going to stick my iPad in there and see how much it likes its new home and whether this will work well for me. So I've separated the case to see how easy or difficult it is to put the iPad in it. So I'm just going to slide this down. I have to make sure it stays within the case. Just slide it down, push it down hard, and then snap it. So it works. It's not too bad. And I have a spot for my Apple Pencil. This part here doesn't feel that heavy. I think once all the weight is here, these feel the same weight. I'm going to weigh them both to see. It's just because I'm anal retentive that way. I want to know. Inquiring grandmas want to know. First thing I did was charge it up. They say it takes 2 hours to charge, and that charge should last for about 100 hours. I didn't test it out. I haven't had it that long. Next thing I did was I connected it to my iPad via the Bluetooth, which is the FN and the C key. What's interesting though, after charging it up, I see there's no backlighting, which not a deal breaker for me. I'm perfectly fine with that. What I do have kind of an issue is the feel of the keys. They're plastic and they feel a little slippery, but it's a small keyboard, so you get what you get. So I want to give it a test. The other thing that I find is a bit of an issue is the angle. I can't push it back as far, the angle as wide as I would like it. So I have to adjust my body instead of adjusting the tool to my body. So let's give it a shot. Small keyboard. I'm a touch typist on a regular keyboard. On this, it's a whole nother story. I do have to type slower because it's a smaller keyboard. that wasn't too bad. Here's where my issue is. If I have to type an apostrophe, I have to type the FN and the L key to get the apostrophe. If AI corrects it automatically, that's one thing, but there are times when I'm writing and I need to show possession or an apostrophe, it doesn't correct it, and what happens is I get a carriage return. That would be okay if I was willing to relearn every time I wanted to use the apostrophe to do that. But I'm old school. I'm still trying to figure out how to only put one space after the period in a sentence.
Do you see there are 2 spaces after every period?
Okay.
Do you know that's something that older people do?
So if I'm struggling with that, you know that the FN and the L is a no-go. And for me, that's a deal breaker. Bottom line, I think it's a well-built case. I think it works well in tablet mode because once you get it open, because it protects it well, and using it in tablet mode is okay. Using it in laptop mode, however, for my purposes, it would not work. The keyboard has its own issue, and then the angle when it's open is not wide enough for me. I needed to go back a little bit further. But the main reason for this no-go is the apostrophe.